my channel. Today's video is going to be the mom tag. I've seen this going around YouTube and I'm thrilled that I was actually tagged in it. So I was tagged by my new friend Jessica here on YouTube. I will link her channel down below and I'm going to start getting into the questions. So the first question is, how old were you when you got pregnant? I was 26. What is and what was the hardest thing about being pregnant? So I'm currently pregnant right now, but my first pregnancy, I had a lot more things that I struggled with. I think the biggest struggle for me with my first pregnancy was the fact that we were still like at the stage in our life where we had a lot of friends that didn't have kids yet. We were still like going out a lot, drinking, stuff like that, and just not being able to participate in drinking, or I just like kind of felt like I couldn't do a lot. Like I felt like everything that people wanted to do, like I couldn't participate because I was pregnant. And another part that I thought was really hard about getting pregnant was just gaining weight. Like I hated gaining weight and feeling big and getting stretch marks. All of that was like a big struggle for me. The next question is, can you think of any good things you enjoyed during your 9 months of pregnancy? Definitely, I definitely enjoyed treats. That was like my thing. I loved ice cream. I loved to just like eat sweets. I don't typically eat a lot of sweet stuff when I'm not pregnant, so whenever I am pregnant, I definitely indulge. In your opinion, were all things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? I think pretty accurate. I didn't have a lot of like expectations going into it. I kind of just knew that I was going to go with the flow no matter what happened, and that's exactly what I did, and I feel like it was pretty accurate. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Yes, I probably wouldn't have gotten an epidural, only because my epidural fell out while I was in labor, so it actually came out of my spine, and so I wasn't actually, it wasn't even in me, I wasn't getting anything, which they didn't notice until after I delivered. And so I basically gave birth without an epidural, which was totally fine. I mean, I was like in the squat position, I was doing all different positions that I should not have been able to do if I was numb. So I think I would not have an epidural the next time, only because, number one, we had to pay for it, even though it fell out. And number two, for like an entire year, I felt like it took just to heal from it. Like I still got like chills in my spine. So yeah, I definitely, if I had to do it over again, I probably would not get an epidural. What would be your advice for someone about to have a baby? Oh my goodness. Just to relax. I feel like it can be so scary and stressful, and I think my first pregnancy, I was just like freaking out the entire time. I was so nervous to give birth. I was just so scared, and I think you just need to relax and know that you're about to have the best gift in the whole world. Gosh. Yeah, that's all. What has been the hardest part about being a mom? Probably just trying to figure out discipline and patience, because I think for me, I'm a very like nice, easygoing person, and I think now with having a child, I have to learn to be more stern and help him learn what is right and what is wrong, and I get very frustrated very easily, and I just need to work on having more patience with my son. And I know once I have two, it's just going to be even crazier. So definitely a hard part about being a mom is just learning to have some patience and also like kind of be a little bit firm, which I'm not very good at. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? Just like the snuggles, and sometimes my son is 1.5, so he can't like fully talk yet. But I love when he says mom. I love when he hugs me. My absolute favorite thing is when he gives me kisses. So all of those things, and I just can't wait for when he can actually like say sentences and just talk to me and tell me exactly what he's thinking and tell me sweet things. Hopefully he just like serenades me all the time about how great of a mother I am. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? Gosh, I feel like I have to think about it. The most surprising thing, and this might sound weird to some people, but like just how aware you have to be, because I feel like before I was a mother, I thought you could just have children and, you know, they kind of do their own thing, and obviously you monitor them and watch them, but like I feel like at this age, at 1.5, I have to be so aware of him. Everywhere he's going, everywhere, when, you know, anytime we're out and about, I'm like just constantly like helicopter mom all over him. When we go to the park, when we do things, like I'm just always watching him and monitoring him, because it's like a blink of an eye and he's fallen down, or, you know, something happens. And so you're constantly like aware. And when I thought about motherhood, I was like, picture myself like relaxing, drinking wine on the park bench while he just plays. And maybe that day will come, but at this point, he is just so wild and crazy, and he has no fears. And so I feel like I'm constantly just like hovering and like helping him and making sure he's not like, that was one thing I did not expect being a mom. What is the best memory you have between you and your child? I'm gonna say, I think there's gonna be a lot more to come as he gets older, but like right now in my mind, I'm just thinking of all the times that we would cuddle and he would always nurse and fall asleep on me. And I love those moments, especially in the early mornings. I would always like breastfeed him to go back to sleep, and then he would just like sleep in my arms from like probably like 3 months until almost a year old. We would do that almost every morning, and like that's just my favorite memories with him. What was the most exciting milestone? Probably walking. I think that I was really, really excited for him to walk. And then also just talking. Every time he says words and starts to understand things, I just get so excited. What is the worst thing your child has ever done? Probably, he does it a lot. Whenever he just freaks out in the stores, like at Target and stuff, and like doesn't want to sit in the shopping cart. Every time he does that, I just cringe. I hate it. It makes me never want to take him out. And I know we just have to learn and get used to it. But if you follow my channel, you know I struggle with taking him out in public. So that's definitely like the worst thing that he's ever done, is just whenever we go out and he just refuses to listen to me and just wants to like run wild in a store. What habit do you wish your child didn't have? I don't really know. He's not really like pushing or shoving or anything right now. He's not overly shy. Those are some things that I would think of that I wouldn't want him to have. I don't really know. Let me think. Oh, I know. I wish that he didn't have to have his pacifier all the time. He is 21 months old, and I still cannot get rid of it. And I know it's like partly my fault because I could just easily take it away from him, but like it's just a really, moms understand, it's a big struggle right now, and it's not a battle that I want to fight. So I just wish that he didn't have the habit of wanting his pacifier. Do you share any similarities with your child physically and personality? Physically, he's like the clone of my husband, so pretty much no. Personality-wise, I think he's really sweet like me. He's like a really kind-hearted. He like loves to give hugs to people, and he's just like, he has a really sweet, genuine heart, and I think that he gets that from me. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? In 10 years, he would be 12. So, I mean, maybe just on the baseball team. I don't know. I hope he's just like doing whatever he wants to do in school as far as like his extracurricular activities and succeeding in them, and then also just doing really well in school. And I hope that he's sweet and kind, because I don't want him to grow into like some mean bully or anything like that. I hope he's just like a really sweet, 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 sweet boy. What is something that having a child has taught you? Not to be selfish. I think you can't just, like, there's so many days, especially as a stay-at-home mom, where you just want to lay there and not get up, and you can't just ignore a dirty diaper. You can't just ignore a child pulling on your hair and climbing on you, even if you are super, super sick. Like, there's been times when I've had a terrible cold, or like just pregnant and nauseous, you know, things like that, where you're just like, I just want to lay here. You can't. You have to just be always on top of it. You always just have to be a super mom. So that's something that being a mom has taught me. It's not about yourself anymore, and it's all about your kids. Did you imagine you'd become a mom at the age that you did? Yes. I think my husband and I, we got married really young. We were only 20, and we waited 6 years to have kids. So we were kind of at the point where we had done so many fun things together. We just loved hanging out with just the two of us. And like I said, we loved to like go out and do stuff like that. So we were kind of at the point where we didn't really care if we had kids. So I think I was either like wanting to have kids in my mid-20s or just not have kids. So I think 26 was perfect. And I'm glad that we waited because I feel like we just got a lot of bonding time together to really strengthen our marriage before having children, and then now going through all of this journey is just so exciting too. How have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I feel like this question has already been answered like 3 times. So like I said, just like patience. I have a lot more patience. I'm not as selfish. I'm also, I don't know, I'm definitely different. For sure. I'm definitely different from when I did not have kids. But yeah, I don't know. Describe your child in a single sentence. My child is wild. He is so crazy, so wild. I feel like he's just like a hurricane all the time. Like he's just crazy. And I love it. It's so much fun. I'm so curious what Crew is going to be like, if he's going to be like the calm child and Cal's going to be the crazy one, or if they're both just going to be like insane and crazy. I don't know, but that wraps up all the questions. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.